Hello, my friends, and once again, I can screw up better than anybody. I forgot to put the login out there for you guys to log into the live session until just about 30 seconds ago. And then YouTube, or well, not YouTube, but I don't know, somebody in their infinite wisdom changed how the browser works this morning, wouldn't you know? And I couldn't find what I needed to set it out there to begin with. So what a mess. So we have 0 people before the live, and looks like we already have Bruce Hines here since we went live. But I'm just going to assume it's working at this point. I'm telling you what, if it could go wrong, it already did this morning. The only other thing I can say is it sure don't take long to stay all night here after the Christmas show.
That is true.
I slept almost 4 hours. If I got that much, that was a lot. So pretty much immediately after this vlog, I'm shipping her home, and I'm going back to bed.
I've been causing him problems, so.
If it could, it did. I'm telling you, this morning Murphy was in full force. Let's see. In keeping with my most recent traditions, I'll show you the fire video this morning, because we've been kind of keeping track of these 2 trailer loads of wood, how long it lasts in my furnace. So that's what I'm going to show you here right now. Well, it's really dark out here this morning, but I just filled the wood furnace up for the 20th time. You can see there's just a few scraggly pieces of wood left and one large piece. So I think we can safely say that each trailer load gives me about 5 full days of wood furnace time there. So anyway, that's what I'm going with. I just kind of wanted to know that for my own information. But now you can see how quickly the wood does go away. 2 full trailer loads that pretty much filled this whole area here. And after 10 days, it's gone. And let me add that the temperatures have been very mild except for one morning. One morning was really cold, but otherwise it was in the 30s and 40s. This morning it's 47. And I still use 2 trailer loads of wood, even though it's been mild. So that'll just give you some idea. It's just not very efficient. The myth is that these outdoor furnaces are the best, and it's sort of kind of true. There's some real advantages. One is you don't have to worry about fire in your house. The fire's outside, it's away from your house, so you don't have to really worry about catching your house on fire. That's one advantage. But the disadvantage is that you've got that huge tank of water to keep heated, and if it's running, underground, it's losing heat underground, even though they claim that it's very efficient. It's not. I'm tempted to dig it up and try to insulate that some more. But and then on top of it, then we've got the world's worst house to try to heat. I mean, it's the worst. There's no house on the planet that's any harder to heat than our house, and it's because of the 7,000 square feet of concrete. And like I said, everybody that's owned that house before us went bankrupt paying for propane. They all went bankrupt. They were actually in probate court, and the companies were at the closings to collect their money. I mean, it was a big deal. So anyway, that's the deal. That's the thing I'm dealing with. And yeah, like I said, I know how to fix it. I either move up to the rental retreat house and forget about it, or I doze that house down and build a different house. And I'm not ready to do either of those things right now. It's what keeps me fit, cutting firewood. Also, there's been a lot of comments over the years, not so much recently, but over the years, with so much concern about how much wood I cut down and how many trees I'm cutting down and all of this, and the environmental aspects and all that. And I've mentioned several times before here, you cut down 1 tree and 50 grow back, and people, I think, somewhat skeptical of that. But I'm just going to show you a little video clip here of an area, and it's an area that's, I don't know, maybe 100 feet long and maybe 40 feet wide, something like that. And I had it clear cut down to the grass about 12 years ago. I don't even know how long ago, but it wasn't real long ago. 10, 12 years ago. So here's a look at that area right now. My friends, about 10 to 12 years ago, I cleared all of this ground from right here all the way down to the creek down there, all the way around here. Every bit of this was cleared about 10 to 12 years ago. I did not plant a single tree. I promise you, every single one of these thousands of trees right here is voluntary. This is why people don't have to worry about cutting down a tree around here in Missouri. See how every bit of this is just completely full of trees. And it's that way everywhere you cut a tree down. The trees just grow back instantly. And the biggest ones survive, the smallest ones die out. And that's just the name of the tune. Just thought I'd show you that so you'd have some kind of idea what we're dealing with here. I noticed during that someone's talking about the microphone level is low. Well, I kind of noticed that in the video last night. I'll be honest, it seems a little low. I'm turning it back up here. It does look like it's at full volume here this morning, or pretty close. But actually, I'm sitting pretty far from the mic right now, too. That's probably another reason. So anyway, just kind of is what it is this morning. And to be honest with you, I'm lucky to even be live right now. The way things went wrong this morning. Golly, just nuts. Just nuts. Well, we had our contest last night, and on naming the song. And before we get to it, if you don't care, and I hope you don't, I'm going to sing the song again, because the reason is because I messed it up last night, and I didn't get all the right words, and, the pressure was on, and so now that the pressure's off, I'm just going to sing it by myself here and let you hear the right words, and then we'll talk about the title and who won the little contest. A mother's love is given free. She prepares the meal on Christmas Eve, then kneels to pray. Dear Lord above, please hear my plea and bring my sons home safe to me on your birthday. A year ago they made their way. One chose blue, the other gray, and their mother cried. The uncivil civil war made men choose a side, but mothers are colorblind. When morning came, she sat outside. Her eyes were fixed and open wide, and then she saw two roses blooming in the snow. Was this a sign she had to know? And then she saw down the road and side by side, two men striding toward the light, and their mother cried. The uncivil civil war made men choose a side, but mothers are colorblind. Mothers are colorblind. These two brothers are colorblind. At least I got all the words right that time. Anyway, so drum roll. I can't do that. So anyway, the title that I chose for the song was, and no one got it. So that probably tells you that it's a bad title. Nobody got it. The Christmas Truce is the title I chose for the song, and I just felt like that spoke about the whole thing. It's the fact that there's two brothers fighting on opposite sides of the war. They come back home to their mother, and Christmas Eve, or Christmas dinner, and so Christmas Truce, I think, sort of encapsulates that into the sense that it makes you know that something happened and it's a peaceful thing. And anyway, And the Civil War was anything but peaceful, if you know the history on the Civil War. Now, there was lots, I don't know if this is going to wash out, but you can see Ron wrote all these down. Now, he quit writing the duplicates, so there are a few duplicates on here, but he quit writing the duplicates, and he just put like the first one that came up with that particular title, he just left it at that. So if you had the same title or something, you just weren't the first one, I guess, or at least according to Ron's, and I just have to go base it on what Ron wrote down. So we went through these titles, Patty and I, and we tried to pick out, and I tried to be objective. I tried to say, is this a better title than my title? And honestly, I would just as soon pick a different title if it's better. You know what I'm saying? I don't really feel like I have to stick with my Christmas truce, but after reviewing all these, I think I like Christmas truce just as well as I like any of these. A couple of these, though, are real close, and they could substitute. So we picked these two as the winners. There's two of them here that we're going to send CDs out to. And Patty really kind of picked them, to be honest with you, because I was really having a tough time with it myself. And I said, Patty, which ones do you like the best? And so here's the two that we picked. A Civil War Christmas, and that was by Richard Herbranson. So Richard, you'll need to send me an email, rosastringworks@gmail.com, and give me your address and stuff, and then I'll send you a CD. And the other one we picked was A Mother's Christmas Peace. And that's close to, the Christmas truce. And Larry Adkins was the one that named that. Now, there was quite a few others that were very good, and we liked them. But, we could only pick a couple, so we did. We also like Brothers Blue and Gray. Brothers in Arms we liked. But I decided to just go ahead and stick with the Christmas truce. Not for any particular reason, not because I think I'm better than the rest of them, but just because. It really just kind of arbitrary. I just decided to just stick with that. So anyway, that's the title of the song, The Christmas Truce. And I don't know if you liked it or not, but that's the way it turned out. So let's go through the comments and see who's here and what's going on. Bruce Hines says, good morning, great show last night. Well, thank you. I listened to it this morning because I woke up at 4:30 and couldn't go back to sleep.
Goodness.
So I listened to it this morning, and quite honestly, I felt like it was a little weak on the sound, doggone it. What had happened, and I didn't remember that I had done it, I had turned that microphone down. I guess the gain on the microphone, and so it was a little weak last night, I felt. But anyway, it kind of is what it is, like I always say. Rod Wintler says, wonderful show last night. What a Christmas present for all of us. Well, thank you very kindly. And Paul Walton's from Florida there. And Dave Hunt. I'm just going to slide down through here. Clyde Lewis, Jeff Puris, and... And Jeff says, yep, it's on. Well, it was news to us because we weren't too darn sure after all the crud that changed this morning. Yeah, what you guys didn't know last night was, well, we don't get speakers on everything. We don't have sound on everything. When we're actually singing live and all that, we don't have any speakers coming back at us. But like when we put on the video or when we put on the introduction or anything like that that should normally have sound, we were getting no sound here last night. And that kind of freaks me out because, you normally get that. And so I'm wondering, is the sound going out to you guys? Because you can't tell. So I just had to pretend like it was working and just kept going. But that was nerve-wracking, to be honest with you. So I was on pins and needles all night. And then this morning, the same thing. And it took me forever to figure out what had changed. And for some reason, the system decided to mute itself, is all it really turned out to be. I really thought, and I think what it was, see this microphone here, which you can't really see, but this microphone, for whatever reason, that microphone grabs the speakers. Anytime you unplug it and you plug it back in, it takes over becoming the speaker. Well, it can't be a speaker, it's a microphone. You know what I'm saying? So it just does that in the computer. So I remembered that when I moved everything around yesterday that I had unplugged that, and forgot to check it, And so I assumed that that's what happened. Well, then I got in there this morning and looked at it, and I had blocked that thing out where it couldn't become a speaker anymore. I had forgotten I had done that. So I'm thinking, well, then why isn't the sound working? And I couldn't figure it out. And for some reason, it had muted itself, and I assume it's because I unplugged that darn thing and plugged it back in. Even though it couldn't become a speaker, it still said, "Nya, nya, 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 nya," and muted the speakers. Something. It's just something has to happen. You just can't just go through it easy. It just never does work that way. But anyway, stuff happens. It's just, like my t-shirt says, it's just not easy being me. And I don't think anybody's ever tried either, besides me. Marigold Time from Sweden there. Thanks for the great concert last night. Kept me up till 4 a.m. Well, that's what time I woke up here, so we're even. I went to bed about midnight and woke up at 4, or 4:30 actually. Thomas Armstrong. Good morning, Jerry. Was surprised that in the movie The Bells of St. Mary's, when the kids were reciting the Pledge of Allegiance, they left one nation under God out. Did you notice that? I'll be darned. No, I didn't notice that. And that would be really dumb, wouldn't it? Especially since it's a religious movie. Yeah, I haven't seen the movie in a very long time. So I didn't know that though. I'll watch for that the next time. David Revel, please be aware that the audio level of your microphone is lower than the level of your video clips. And that's what I had saw a minute ago, so I'm reading that. But I did turn it up. I hope it's working better now, but I'm still a long way from the mic. Let's see. Rod Wintler, that line was added in the mid-50s. Oh, so they didn't know about that line when the movie was made. I gotcha. Oh, cool. That makes sense, I guess. Didn't know that, though. I didn't know that line was added in the mid-50s. Very cool. Good to learn something. David Ravel says, greetings from the Holy Land of Israel. Well, great. It's neat to have people from all over the world here. Marigold's talking to Thomas there. Oh, okay. Yeah, so she's saying the same thing. It was put in the 50s. Very cool. I did not know that.
Didn't either.
Clyde says, nice title. Okay, well, thank you. The Christmas Truce. I just thought it was appropriate. I mean, it's not necessarily better than the other ones. It's just appropriate. It's a good title, I think. And it makes you think, well, wonder what this is about a little bit, too. You don't really know for sure what it's about, but it kind of gives you some sense of that it's going to be about some peaceful thing. Sal O'Mender, what a username. Good morning. No worries. If a song gets played a little off, my drumming was horrific last night. Wesley Teal, love your channel on fixing guitars, tractors, and life. Well, thank you. Very good time. Christmas truce is what we need right now. Boy, isn't that the truth? Yes. Man, we need it all over the world right now, too. It's just terrible what's going on all over the world. And it just scares the life out of me that China told our president, Biden, who's not my favorite person either, that they're going to take back over Taiwan. He just blatantly told them face to face, they're going to take Taiwan back. Where is that going to go? And how's that going to play out? Oh my gosh. According to what I heard, the White House had no comment on that. All I know is we definitely could use a Christmas truce. Boy, we definitely could. Tom says he loves the words to the song. Well, thank you. Thank you. Tanya Lewis, I like your title, Jerry. Lovely melody. Thank you. Kathy Volts, good morning, Jerry and Patty from West Palm Beach, Florida. Bill Dedrick, Jerry, what kind of acoustic dreadnought was Bill playing? Who made that guitar? Well, yeah, we've talked about that a number of times. He built that in my shop here. We built that guitar, and he did 90% of the work, but I was right there the whole time showing him what to do and how to do it. The whole thing. So. It's sort of almost built by me because, as he was putting it together, I would say, no, don't put that together yet. Do this and, carve those braces down thinner and this kind of thing. And so, anyway, he did the physical work, though. Tanya Lewis, I ran your show through my Bluetooth speaker and it sounded great. Well, great. Cool. One Nation Under God was added later. Yeah, okay, well, that's the reason then. I would have never even thought of that. I would never have thought of that if you guys hadn't brought that up. I'm so glad you told me that. Mike Saba, was Patty happy with her instruments selling and the fiddle she played last night was really green? Yeah, I looked at it 3 or 4 times. I go, and then it dawned on me that's a green fiddle because I'm colorblind, and it took me a while to really realize it was green, but I could tell it was after. I'm not black and white colorblind. I'm just colorblind. I don't know how to explain it. According to the eye doctors, though, I'm as bad as it gets. He said, "Man, you are profoundly colorblind." That's what he said to me. He put it in those terms.
Yeah, I was shocked when you said, "Is that green?"
So anyway, I don't know how I know colors. I just don't know how. I don't know how. Because like when I look at those color charts, I swear to you, I'm not making this up. I'm not looking for sympathy either. I'm just telling you this is the way it is. When I look at those color charts, I see nothing. I mean, I see dots, but that's all I see, just dots. It's like looking at a shag carpet and expecting to see numbers in it. There's just nothing there, And so the first time that I ever did that, or first time I ever looked at those, was in my biology class where we had this old curmudgeon biology teacher, and he laid these charts out on the table, and I didn't even know what they were. He just laid them out, and instantly the kids are going, there's a 17, there's a 25, there's a 32, and I'm going, what are you talking about? I swear I was completely dumbfounded. I had no clue that I was even colorblind. I didn't know because I was a senior in high school and I still didn't know I was colorblind because, like I said, I've always been able to compensate somehow. I don't know how I do it, but I couldn't see one single number. Then I look and there are 2 numbers embedded that I could see. And there were only 2 numbers on the whole table that I could see. And those are the ones they use to prove that you're colorblind. Like it's not that you're the only one that can see them. I think anybody can see them, but those are the only 2 that colorblind people can see. And that way they know you're not cheating, see? When you say, well, I can see those 2 numbers, if they said if you said you can't see any numbers, they'd say, oh, you're faking it, because you can see these 2, and I could see those 2, but I couldn't see any other ones. It's just weird. I don't know. Colorblindness is a really, really weird thing. I don't even know how to explain it to people. And I have heard people say they only see black and white, and I can't imagine that because that's not how I see. It's weird. I don't know. Very strange. Moving on. Let's see. Clyde Lewis. Jerry, are some of your recent songs going to be on the future Rosa Band CD? Maybe. I'd like to put the Wedding Band and even this new song, I'd like to get them recorded by the band eventually, but it embarrasses me to say this, but I have forgot how to run my recording studio. I can't run the thing anymore. I always did say, even when I was really on top of it, that it was the most complicated thing ever designed by a human short of the space shuttle. I mean, it seriously is that hard to run. And now I just can't run it. I got away from it for 5 or 6 years, and I'm just having trouble getting back into it. I just don't even want to be honest with you. But anyway, I need to do it. Moving on. Seems like I lost something here. Well, there's Peter Labick and then Marigold Tyne. Peter is from Germany, and Marigold's from Sweden, of course. And Bill Carter from Hot Springs, Arkansas. And the Freeze won. Missed your show last night because we have Oak Grove Schoolhouse Jam on every Thursday night. I will have to watch it later. Well, that's cool. Our jamming around here has died out. You're looking at the only guy that keeps the jams going, honestly. Yeah, it's just, it's sad. All the old timers died off and nobody picked it up. Cash is our only hope for the future, and that's it right now. There's nobody else young that's playing it at all. Paul Lanier, playing along on the guitar last night. I need more practice. You folks are very great at pulling this off on a live cast. Well, poor Patty, she didn't get to practice with us at all. And the only practice we got was live at the restaurant. So we're live there too, So, it's crazy. But I don't know. We do all right for the fact that we don't really practice, really. We just do it live, kind of. The Free says, hope you have a Merry Christmas. Well, you too, and everybody else as well. Marigold says, maybe I see ultraviolet like dogs do. Well, maybe. I have the sense of taste that's as good as a dog's nose, I can tell you that. When I can tell which faucet water came out of, that's a pretty sensitive taste. It's crazy. It really is. My taste is beyond understanding. It really is. I am a total genetic defect. Just absolutely.
You're just one of a kind, Jerry. You're
for
very
sure.
unique.
I'm definitely one of a kind. There ain't nothing like, my grandkids all have a piece of my one of a kind. Like my granddaughter got this, and my one grandson got my taste, and two of my grandsons are colorblind, and there could be more. So a lot of them are getting my genetic defects, but they don't have all of them in one body. Thank God. I tell you. Anyway. Let's see. Any other comments here? Did the fiddles sell great? Show cash has improved greatly. Yeah, the fiddles did all right, I think. You were okay with it.
Oh, more than okay with it, yeah.
Okay, well,
so,
great.
Yeah.
And she said we may auction off some more down the road. Now, for those of you who don't know, we did have a real problem with the auction software this last time. And prior to that, and I had done a dozen auctions or more, and I'd never had a problem. But this last time, the auction software just went haywire. And it didn't even show me the two winning bids. I didn't even see them. So I don't know what happened, but I've since downloaded a new auction software, and I'm going to be testing that out when we get around to maybe auctioning off some more fiddles down the road. So anyway, that's just the way it goes. I'm telling you, they should never have named it Murphy's Law. It should have been Rose's Law from day one. Maybe I wasn't born then, but it still should have been Rose's Law. They knew I was coming. Let's see. The last one here is the Free says, FY, we had a bunch of kids playing. They're very good pickers too. Our future bluegrassers warms my heart. Well, good. At least you've got a future there. We have none here. I mean, and the saddest part of that is this used to be the hotbed in Missouri, I think, this whole area. We had Wayne Bledsoe, who started Bluegrass Now magazine. He was here. He also was a DJ. We had the other fellow that I know his name as good as I know mine, and you know me and names, but he was another DJ here. Do you remember his name? Ray Hicks. Ray Hicks. Mm-hmm. And he was an incredible DJ. And those guys, Ray also jammed some with us. But then there was just dozens of jammers in this area, and even 4, 5, 6 bands in this area. And you're looking at it right now. I mean, this is it. We're the last of the Mohicans. What you saw last night is pretty much it. There's 3 or 4 other little people around, and they're all associated to us too. I mean, you've seen them all here on the channel. So that's it. There's nobody else. It's sad. Merry Christmas from Bill Carter. Thank you very much. Clyde Lewis, give a thumbs up, everybody, and that's what he says there, so thank you. Well, we've got 124 viewers, even though I didn't get the thing started correctly this morning. I apologize for that, guys. I'll tell you what, like I said, I'll be even lucky to be here this morning with very little sleep, and it just, and the computer was just giving me fits this morning. It's just nuts. But I'm going to let that be it. So thank you all for joining me this morning. I really do appreciate it. Merry Christmas to each and every single one of you. We will probably see you live on Tuesday morning with the next vlog. Thank you very kindly.